I'm at Mount Wilson Observatory with my friend Steve Padilla.
Hello.
Hi. And we are at the 150-foot, it's backwards because I have this reversed and it's very cold. And guess what he's going to do? He's going to unlock it for us and show us around. Oh, wow.
Go up the stairs here.
Let me fix the clink, clink, clink over my boots.
I'll turn on some lights.
Wow. Holy cow.
So this is a 60-inch. It was
Inside the telescope, or the telescope operation building, and look at this. Einstein was here in 1939 and
1931.
1931. I'm dyslexic. Actually, I have it reversed, but how cool is this? And does this control the telescope?
This panel, yeah, it can do various functions depending on which buttons I have pushed
Oh
on
my
the panel
God.
here.
This is amazing. Look at this.
If we had sunlight, if it was a clear day, we would get an image of the sun that was this round cardboard disc here. This is called a Stonyhurst disc. But you see the grid pattern here. The circle would define the size of the solar image that we would get here. And we would, if there were any sunspots, we'd be able to see those on the sun.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Look at this.
And that's the light shaft, the light from the mirrors and the lens up at the top, bring the light of this to focus here at this point.
What lens do you use? What?
Well, there's a 12-inch lens. You see the diagram. There's two mirrors called a coelostat, and then the light gets reflected and sent down. And below the mirrors is where the lens, 12-inch lens. It's a 3-element lens, triplet.
Who made the lens?
It was made by Perkin-Elmer.
There's Einstein. Wow.
And in this picture, this group picture, we got Edwin Hubble. And
That's Hubble.
Yeah.
That's Einstein.
Einstein. These were the two solar astronomers. This was Einstein's assistant, Mayer.
Wow.
And Stephen Hawking has been here a couple times.
Wow.
In fact, he left a mark in our visitors book. It's his thumbprint. See.
Oh wow, look at that. This is so cool. Wow. There's so much history here.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's I think our main attraction for the whole observatory. Just this long historical past. Those are some of the past astronomers that have worked here.
Wow, this is so cool.
Now I have to show you something. This, once the image is formed here, there's other parts of the instruments here that we work with the sunlight. So the light gets sent down below floor level. We have this 80-foot pit.
80-foot pit?
Yeah.
Oh no,
It's a long spiral staircase going down to the bottom.
Don't drop my phone. Wow. Jeez.
Now, I think you can have a light on down here. And if you carefully, don't drop anything, but you can see down to the bottom.
Holy
So
cow.
80 feet down to the bottom.
80 feet. And then it comes down from the light shaft.
Now the reason for the pit is there's some equipment down there, something called a diffraction grating.
A diffraction grating.
Diffraction grating is a shiny surface, much like this old laboratory grating. Now when sunlight shines on this, we get a solar spectrum produced. So the solar spectrum is what our grating down below gives us, and it comes up to this level here. And we can work with an eyepiece to look at that solar spectrum. And you see above the door.
Yeah, I saw
there's
that.
Just an illustration, the full range of the rainbow colors from blue to red.
56.
So the diffraction grating gives you the ability to look at very narrow parts where those dark lines appear. Those are the Fraunhofer lines, what we use to analyze the solar atmosphere.
Oh, wow.
And we can measure those, see what happens to them. In the case of magnetic fields, those certain lines get split up, and we can measure that. And that's been really much, that principle is what we've employed to make the kinds of observations that we've done here for many years.
What was the cost
What was the cost?
to build it, roughly?
The cost, well, back in 1912,
Metal.
or actually 1910, 1909, 1910, when they initially built it, it was just, in the thousands of dollars.
Thousands.
Tens of thousands.
I mean, this is incredible machinery. Look at these gears.
Yeah. Well, you can see that with this photo where Einstein is, this arm extension is what you see there. So things haven't changed all that much.
So this here, I feel like Huell Hausner.
Yeah, well, he was here.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he did a story here.
And so Einstein was right here.
Yeah, basically he was.
Wow.
They had an idea set up for him. This is not the same one, but it's an old brass one. So they would have put this in the path here for observing the solar spectrum, and they would probably demonstrated some of these dark lines, these absorption lines, to show, for instance, the splitting. When you have a sunspot right over the slit, you'll see splitting occur. That's the method that we use to measure the strength of the magnetic field in the sunspot. So that's probably what he was looking at when he was here. So,
Wow, I love it. Oh, okay. So what are we looking at here?
well, you're looking at, this is, if you can consider a whole round circle, most of the sunspots usually fall within the range of the sheet of paper here. So we never have to get a big, huge sheet of paper to cover the whole sun. But this was 100 years of these sunspot drawings yesterday, the 4th. The first one was started on January 4th, 1917.
1917.
1917. So yesterday was the 100th
Centennial drawing. And you hand draw these.
Yeah, look at this.
Wow.
The last day that was clear here and we had a sunspot was back on the 28th of December.
Wow.
But every day I make these drawings.
Wow.
Carry on the tradition. See, as the sunspots come and go, but the sun is rotating. So sometimes you can follow these spots from one day to the next, how they move along, and see how they've developed.
Wow.
I don't know if I have a sequence, but if we go back, you see bigger spots. Right now the sun is headed towards solar minimum,
Solar minimum.
nearing the end of the current sunspot cycle. So that means that we're seeing fewer spots, generally smaller ones, but in the past we had these bigger ones.
Wow, this is fascinating.
But I think somewhere here I have even larger spots.
How long does it take to set it up so you could take your measurements and document it?
Well, it takes me about 10 minutes to go up to the top to get that all arranged.
So you go up
And-
there and open it up, and
yeah, and then I come down, they get the table set up, I get my orientation. There's some computations I have to get for a correction factor on the setting of where that table orientation. And anyway, it takes me a good half hour to initially get set up, so then I can make these drawings. I'll show you the largest sunspot here in 27 years.
wow.
This drawing was made 2 years ago, 23rd of October.
What? Wow. Do you have any? How bright is it?
The image is pretty bright, not so bright that it hurts your eyes.
So do you get any
It's
like?
about as bright as going outside and in the middle of the day and looking at the ground.
Okay.
Basically.
So this is
70s.
1970s computer technology. The tapes. Oh wow.
The thing is that this worked fine for 40 years. It went out about just about 4 years ago. This Raytheon computer, which ran everything with the spectrograph out there.
Amazing. What'd you replace it with?
Well, we started to get this PC to do what that did, but the thing is, the programming was the big issue. To a modern language, to carry out the functions of what this did.
Well, I don't want to pick a fight anyone, but this is what the problem is right there. I won't mention the name for the lawsuit.
Well, the problem is that when our funding ran out, the programming of doing the upgrading ended, and so we were kind of stuck. So there's no funding to do our research, no funding to get things up to date.
Is this what was in there? These are.
There's a lot of these around, old boards. Yeah, this is very common
So this is cutting edge technology in its day.
in its day. Yeah.
That's amazing.
No.
So what we're trying to figure out is if we shoot some planets, this is a 35mm film frame,
Yeah,
and we attach it to the telescope.
And the planet Saturn would be something like that, maybe.
So it'd be about 5mm? No.
Somewhere, well, yeah, it would be.
So this is a 60-inch telescope.
It's a reflector design. So at the bottom, there's a 60-inch mirror, plate glass mirror.
Wow.
And this is where the eyepiece would be.
Oh yeah. So that's where you would attach a camera.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this stand here is what they use, depending on where the telescope is oriented. You climb onto this and they roll it over and set up.
So this whole thing rotates?
Well, it moves around to wherever it needs to go. There are limits. For instance, they can't go too far to the horizon. So
Gee.
it moves, the tube moves north-south, and then in the other direction it moves east-west.
Goodness, it's fascinating.
And the dome, you can see with the shutter opens and rolls back.
Oh yeah.
And so the slit would be open, and the dome can be rotated so that opening is right where the telescope is the direction it's looking through.
Now, what are the chairs for? These are observers?
Well, these are when the groups that rent the telescope, so you can
Rest.
chairs for everybody. So when they're in here, they'll be seated, waiting their turn. You know, they'll set the telescope on an object, and then
Everyone comes and looks.
and then people can go out and look. And it's really the pace of what they look at is determined by the group, what they want to, as part of the rental, there's a telescope operator and a session director who interacts with them to tell them what they can see, describes what they're looking at. Large ones, pretty spectacular.
So this is a focusing knob. Can I turn it?
Yeah.
Oh,
It may be
it's locked. Yeah, it's locked. It's okay. So this is the telescope from up top, and this is the Newtonian. Did I get it right? Newtonian platform. And what they would do is remove the top piece up here, and there was a way they would attach a different camera up there instead of the piece down there, which right there, I'm doing it backwards. How cool is this?